Let's try that over. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. I can eat my dinner at a fancy restaurant, but nothing, and I said nothing, can take away these blues.
To you.
The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hello, all you gorgeous, smart people joining us tonight. Welcome, welcome. And we are joined tonight with my former ex-co-host and producer, Colin Wysong. Thank you, thank you. I'm very happy to see you back here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, my current host, Big Ray Hernandez, and his beautiful bald self.
She traded Colin for a better, more.
Wait, was it an upgrade?
What? Yeah, well, absolutely. I don't know. Colin, why are you here?
You wanted me to come on the show.
Oh,
because we missed him.
You should have left it. You should have left your hair down. By the way.
Yeah, you should have.
Got the beer of the show here.
Oh,
there you go.
Got a Mick Ultra here. No Bud Lights.
No Bud Lights. Not today. So what's up, no April? How's it going on?
It's going. So tonight we're gonna talk about some controversy. We will talk about let's see, lots of things, right? We're gonna talk about what you want to rattle that off.
I got Jason Aldean and why people are so pissed off. We got Pfizer that their plant just freaking basically got destroyed by a random tornado. What else we got? I wanted to talk about some catfishing and maybe some warning signs, romance scams. What else we got? Afro Man. He got his house got broken into, and he made a song about it, and now the cops are mad. And unfortunately, as we kick off the show, April, I just got some news that at the age of only 56, we have lost an icon, a music icon.
We did, yeah.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yes. So, and I'm kind of really angry about that one. So, and we'll touch on that. I have a couple of fun facts.
Oh, and LeBron James' son too.
Yeah, of course, that one too. Kind of all these things sort of inadvertently kind of linked to each other. And things that calm us when we're angry. I took a poll. I asked people, what calms you when you're angry? Boy, did I get a response. So there's some really helpful stuff in there. You're furiously waiting for me, Big. I'm furiously waiting for you too.
I'm just putting up all their comments.
Okay.
They hide.
So Allie, hello, and Eva, the artist returns. Disto Gemstone. Disto Gemstone is saying that the Obama's former chef also turned up dead. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Hey. Cool, awesome dude. Hey, thank you for the Corgos. I appreciate it. I brought an appropriately pecs flexing shirt this time.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm not one to check you out like that because you like my sister from another mister. But your breasts look actually really nice today, April. Is that okay to say?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, mine too, but you can't see them.
I'm just looking for something green, and I'm running through my closet. I've got like 1 minute till we go live. I'm like, just grab that.
Oh, is it green? I even noticed it because
it's green. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Wait, get closer to the camera. We can't see that.
There you go. It's green.
A little closer and just stay there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Green. Thank you.
Yeah, just do the show like that. The rest of the show, just like that.
My boobs will talk to you guys. So, yeah, we'll talk about these things today. Wow.
It's like the Jim Carrey. Remember Ace Ventura when he would talk with his ass?
With his butt.
Like you talk with your boobs. Yeah.
I will talk with my boobs. I use my boobs to get people to listen to me. It works. So cool, awesome dude. Speedway. Let's see. AB Twitch, Alex, Chuck. You guys. Winona. Who am I missing? Thanks for joining us tonight, El Martin. You guys are awesome for coming and
let me see. Company. Speedway. Colin, show a couple of people. I got Speedway here. Speedway 95, 94. Yeah. We got Jason Aldean. He's in here as well. You said Disco Gemstone, right? Here, he's here. We got the A Show. We got Big Wig. Yeah, you said
so
that.
What do you want to start with tonight? Wait, I've got a couple fun facts here. You guys want to hear some interesting facts?
Fun fact it.
Fun facts. So roundabouts, rotaries, traffic circles that everybody hates. They actually have a 90% reduction in car accidents than compared to traffic lights, because people aren't speeding through. They're not running red lights, and they keep the traffic moving. So as much as we hate them, they're actually incredibly beneficial. So next time you get frustrated and you're trying to figure it out, it keeps the traffic moving and people aren't blowing red lights.
There's one traffic circle that is was near a place that I worked, and it is the smallest traffic circle. Like, you can still just blow through there, but you kind of have to slow down just enough to kind of go around it and keep going.
Yes, a roundabout, as we would say in England. Also, I thought this was really interesting. You've heard the term Nimrod before, right?
Yeah, that's what I call Colin all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Do you know what it means?
No, what does it mean?
Okay. So in ancient times, there was a man named Nimrod who was the grandson of one of Noah's sons named Ham.
Oh, yes.
So he became a god-man to the people. Long story short, he was eventually killed by an enemy, and his body was cut into pieces and sent to various parts of his kingdom. So Semiramis, sorry, I'm saying that all wrong, had all the parts gathered, except for one part that could not be found. Guess what that part was?
The wiener.
Yes. The missing part was his reproductive organ. So I'm going to say this all wrong.
Jeffrey Dahmer ate it.
Semiramis claimed that Nimrod could not come back to life without it, and told the people of Babylon that Nimrod had ascended to the sun and was now to be called Baal, the sun god. But when you call somebody Nimrod, you're essentially calling them dickless.
Oh, shit.
Those aren't my kids.
Yes.
I did not. So, Colin, what outhouse are you sitting in right now?
I'm actually in the room. We just redid the floors.
Oh, did you?
So the floors are redone here. If you can see it. They're like vinyl.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah, they're like brand new vinyl flooring. So
nice.
I like that.
How's work?
So everything is out of the room right now. I'm not in the closet. I'm in the actual bedroom.
Sure, you're not in the closet.
No, I'm in a bigger closet now.
2023. Okay.
Yeah, Colin's been out of the closet for quite some time now. Why don't we just jump into the sad thing first? So you were talking about Sinead O'Connor passing away at the age of 56.
Yes.
Something upset you about that. What happened? Why
Well,
I mean, it's upsetting, but
well, first off, she had an amazing song, and she was on, she had an amazing CD, and she was on her way to the height of popularity. She was beautiful, unusual, groundbreaking, and she chose to use her platform to expose the fact that the Catholic Church was abusing children sexually. So she tore up a picture of the Pope and said, "This is what's happening." And for that, she was banned from the United States from performing. Her career was wrecked, and she was basically made to look like an idiot, like a crazy person, and called all kinds of names, and just reduced to, this crazy person said these things. And 20 years later, we found out that what she was saying was true. So instead of investigating what she was trying to tell us, we'd rather put our head in the sand. She risked everything to say this. We never apologized to her. She took so much abuse for it, and 20 years worth of children were sexually abused that didn't need to be, including people that in wrestling. And one was outspoken about it. So it's like, come on, it breaks my heart that that's how everything went. And she just had a comeback with singing the current seasons of Outlander. She did that song.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was her. That was just released for season 7. So
she sang for Conor McGregor's one of his entrances for one of his fights.
I'm gonna play real quick just the reason why she was taken off the air real quick. There's only 30 seconds. Here we go.
We have confidence in the victory of good over evil.
She rips a picture of Vince McMahon up.
Fight the real enemy.
Oof.
Yep. That's what she said. That's what she did. And she was banned for it.
Oh my God, the crickets.
And she did that on SNL too. That's why that was so big, because SNL was huge at the time.
Yeah. So
yeah.
when it was funny back then.
Yeah, way back when it was good and funny.
Yeah. She had balls. And it perpetuates a thing that we have here. You know, Julian Assange just spent another birthday in prison. Edward Snowden. You know, all these people, they come forward, they risk everything to tell the truth, and they are punished for it. They are destroyed for it. They're discredited for it. They are, you know, and we've experienced it too. You know, I've experienced it. They're wished death for it. So, you know, it's sad, and it breaks my heart that that's how it went for her.
She's never gotten, she never got not retribution.
She never reached the heights she should have. She never had the respect she should have. And hi, Dark Side Caster. She never got to where she could have been, even though she did make a really, really profound impression.
Yeah, I'm actually sad about it. And like you said, I mean, this is
The Artist Returns, no, that was not woke. That was a whistleblower. Yeah, they are not the same. They are not the same thing.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being woke and.
Yeah.
Right, Colin, would you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
Huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely wasn't. It's kind of like when the artists do that type of stuff now, like when I guess Chester Bennington and the other Chris Cornell were trying to work on some things together, and then they mysteriously died.
Got suicided.
Suicided.
Yeah, they
unalived themselves.
Yeah, they were working on a children sex abduction documentary.
Which that's how you know that which of the Coreys is it that's still trying to peddle his like
Feldman?
Yeah, it's like that's how you know his isn't real, because they haven't taken him out yet for his exposing the industry video that he made.
Yeah. So yeah, she was canceled real hard and real fast. So that was one of the first cancellations that ever happened. So yeah.
But see, you see how she was able to bounce back too. I mean, if you look at other cancellations throughout history, I mean, look at Ellen. I'm sure we all remember when Ellen was the biggest comedian and had her own sitcom on television. And then she came out as a lesbian, and she lost her career for however many years until she was able to get it back once it became acceptable and the norm.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, I remember that. It took some time. Yeah, Ellen.
Yeah,
Ellen,
she was the biggest comedian.
I could never care that she was gay, and I never watched TV.
Yeah,
so
she came out on the show during a time when it was
the evangelical right was still kind of in charge.
I would say so, and Ellen. Yeah, she lost her position as probably the top TV personality. She was like number one, right? Colin?
Yeah, at that time, her comedy, everything she was doing, she was at the top of her career, and then she lost it all and got back to it.
Yeah, well, you know how things turn around. She probably had to drink the spleen of a child or whatever what the hell these people do in fucking darknesses. A couple of other stories. Why don't we jump into one of the main things and what's on our thumbnail? Because this is this song. I'm not gonna play this. Not too long.
Small town.
So this song has created such a freaking
shitstorm.
I was gonna say controversy, but yeah, a clusterfuckle.
Right.
April. And Colin, I listened to this song when it first came out because I saw people posting about it, and I said I'm gonna go in there with a critical eye. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna look for some racist shit, and I'm gonna be honest with myself if I feel that it is racist. What I came away was after I heard it for the first and second time, because I listened to it back to back and see if you guys understand what I say when I say this. I came away with saying, "Oh, they're gonna find this racist, or they're gonna turn this into something racist, or they're gonna bring race." That's what I thought. But any of you guys can jump in and give your thoughts on this fucking gimmick.
Colin, you go first because I have a couple things to say about it.
Well, I think the biggest thing I've been seeing is, Ray, our good friend who's never been beaten in these mean streets, 8-track. He's seen the video, and his biggest sticking point is them doing the video in front of the courthouse.
All right. Go ahead. Say
no. Let me finish. Right
now. Go ahead.
So yes, that might have been a courthouse that had a lot of racial history and stuff like that, right? Where people were hung out in front of it and everything, right? He might not have known, but there was probably somebody there, a producer or production person who was like, we have to shoot it here to add that division and stuff in the video. Because you have to look at it from the narrative of if they try to create division on both sides, they're going to get people, as he's trying to bring them together, they're going to find those little symbolisms and be like, oh, this is racist because they're doing it in front of this courthouse, or this is racist because they're doing it this way. So they're just even more pushing that divide to throw away what his message is, at the end of the day.
And they show clips of the old courthouse as well. But in the video, if you watch the video, it kind of looked like the courthouse was on fire.
Yeah, it's a way to discredit him, with being like, oh, he chose that, he did this. It might not have been him. It might have been a location person or somebody else, right? It's like, we're going to do this right here. We're going to shoot this right here. Because they didn't have to shoot it right there. So who was directing the video? They might have known as well. So you kind of have to look at ulterior motives when you're dealing with this type of stuff.
But here's the thing, and Eva, you kind of bring up my point a little bit. This is a video shot in the South, and to be fair, there was a lot of terrible things that happened in the South anywhere. Like they could have
terrible things that happen everywhere.
Here's my point I'm gonna make. Go ahead, Colin. Say your point, and this is my point.
I lived near Macon, literally outside of Macon, Georgia, for 5 years. It is a completely different town, and it's a very dangerous town to be in now. It's very crime ridden and poor, and it's not a good area that people like to go to in Macon. No, people don't go to Macon. Try not to, at least.
Listen, the point I was trying to make is that they could have filmed this shit in front of a tree, and then some asshole would have looked up the location of the tree and said, 2 families were hung there 100 years ago.
Some white liberal asshole.
But this is what I'm saying, though.
That's an oak tree. That's the type of oak tree that they use to hang people on back in the day.
They would have just found now obviously, and this is obvious, a courthouse that's been there for 100 years. Yeah, bad shit happened there. You know what I'm saying? But that's like saying I don't know, going back to standing in front of the Twin Towers where the Twin Towers were and say this is
right. He didn't write the song.
Yeah,
there's 4 other people that wrote the song. He just bought the song.
I just think people just keep looking for shit, man. Keep looking for shit, and I agree with Aldean in this point. I didn't come from a small town, but I came from a very close-knit neighborhood in the hood. And if you tried to bring your shit into our project facility, guess what? You're gonna get fucked up. You'll get shot. You'll get stabbed. You're not gonna. No outsider is gonna come into the hood. It's gonna come into our neighborhood and start their shit. So I actually kind of understand what he's coming at. But they're gonna say, April, oh, it's about don't bring no Hispanics or no Negroes into our town. That's not what he was coming from. I really don't believe that.
Well, like Eva said, there are way worse songs out there, and if you're looking for a red car, you're going to find a red car. You're going to see lots of red cars. So if you're looking for signs of racism, if you are looking, my friend's, he put something on Facebook the other day, and he said, is it just me? Or is it now because I'm dating a black girl? He's a white guy. Now because I'm dating a black girl, I'm seeing so many more interracial couples. And there's a whole thing. And everybody's like, it's probably because you're interracial now. You're noticing how many are around you, because we tend to see things and pay attention to things. So if you want to see racism, you're going to see racism. If you want to see flowers, they're everywhere if you want to look.
Yeah, you see what you want to see.
So as far as the song, Aldean didn't write it. I believe he bought it. There was 4 writers that did the song. As far as where it was shot, I don't know anything about that, but yeah, you could be right as far as the location manager and everything else. I do know in small towns, the towns are built around the downtown area, which is always a courthouse. So because I grew up in one, there's usually a fountain that we would throw dish soap in, which has happened more than once. But yes, we may have done that. And there's a traffic circle. But yes, we soap the fountains. So I like the song. When I heard it, as soon as I heard it, I don't even like country. I'm sorry. I don't even like country music that much. But
what?
I know, but I like
I don't
that
either.
song.
I don't either.
You don't like country music, you guys?
No, not at all.
I didn't say I hate it. I said I don't like it that much.
Oh, I hate it.
Why do you hate it? I'm sorry. Why do you hate it, Colin? It's really
because I just grew up around too many people that listen to it, and I just find it
exactly. Me too. I've had it crammed down my throat.
Yeah, I just find it ignorant.
Like,
sorry.
You know, the guy loses his beer and his dog and his pickup truck and his wife. And
well,
it's like,
shit.
oh
How would you feel if you lost your
like
dog and your beer?
Yeah, it's a little too sad
metal,
for me.
like some fucking thrash metal.
Yeah, give me something hardcore.
You know, like get that out of your system.
April,
anyway, that's
right?
just me. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You asked me how I feel.
What is that sound in the background now? I hear.
That's not me.
It's Colin. It's got to be Colin. Let me mute Colin.
It might be my AC. Is it?
Oh.
All right, you're good. You're good. You're fine.
Anyway, Thomas said, and by the way, thank you, Thomas. He said, I haven't heard the song, but does it more or less represent a fuck around and find out message? Yes, it does. And here's the thing. I'm gonna say both sides. Okay. A lot of people are seeing these soft on crime situations where, like Chicago, LA, Philadelphia, where you can get away with ripping off X amount and not going to jail for it. Like the police will just stand back and not do anything. Sorry, my hair's all messed up now. So there's no prosecutions for all these petty thefts. There's people are tired of it. Why do you think gun sales are through the roof now? People are tired of it, and they're tired of it. And the song represents people being tired of being taken advantage of. So especially in small towns where people do stick together. So secondly, like
I don't know what
Winona
this question
pointed out,
means, by the way. What does this question mean here? I haven't heard this.
FAFO, fuck around and find out.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, okay.
So, like Winona points out, they actually used real footage in there from riots. And I will point out that everybody in there was white. Ooh. So they specifically picked, and I watched it several times, they picked white people footage in there to avoid the issue of racism. So a white girl spitting in the cop's face, a white girl's doing this, doing that.
The middle fingers and shit.
Doing the middle fingers, right. So Winona pointed out, people don't like to be called out on their stupidity. Well, it's on video now, and it's being used. You did it. So, and now it's part of a video that's lots of controversy. So it's there. And whether or not this footage was, and hi Wolf, whether or not this footage was actually done in the United States or elsewhere, we've had lots of riots everywhere, and all songs go global anyway. So what difference does it make if it's globally represented or nationally represented? Doesn't matter if it's Tennessee or in England. We hear their music, they hear ours. So this is going on everywhere. Everything's global. We know that now. So I don't think that this is a racist song. I think this is a vigilante song where it's like, watch yourself. Watch yourself, because your bullshit is not going to be tolerated.
Nope.
And if you are a person that likes to do bullshit, they're taking it as, oh shit. Okay, so there's that. Hey, BRV, what's up? Hola, ¿cómo está?
What, send you the link? Okay. I'm sorry.
Hey, not to interrupt you, April, but did you see where I think Gilbert Brantley or Brantley Gilbert, whatever his name is, he had a concert the other night and he did some kind of tribute to Jason Aldean. He's like, I'm support, or I'm with Jason Aldean, and he's saying something like he created a song about the whole issue with what's going on.
No, I did not, but I'm laughing. Sorry, Wade. Wade really doesn't like country music. I didn't say I hated it. I just said it's on my genre of choice. So
let me see if I can find it.
You said something about
okay, so there's another side to this. Let me tell you another side. All right. So Are you guys familiar with the term sundown town?
Sundown town. Is
Yes,
like,
yeah, I am.
is it
I
like
am.
Okay.
a reverse
All right,
Andy
so-
or something? Oh, go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
a lot of people are not familiar with sundown town. So a sundown town is and it currently is and has been towns in the States or wherever where they're known to be white. And it is not safe to be there after the sun goes down.
Oh,
So if you are
okay.
doing business in these towns, you better get your ass out of there by the time the sun goes down. And, you know, to avoid a Trayvon Martin type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Sucks.
Yeah. So this is a term that a lot of white people are not familiar with, sundown town, despite living in one. And it's people warn others, hey, that's a sundown town you're going to. So yes. So if you look at this song from a different perspective, you can see that song being pushed as a sundown town song.
Yeah. Well, that's because that courthouse, that courthouse, April, that it used to have a sign that basically said, like, on the courthouse, like, if you're here at a certain time, you need to leave if you're not a certain color, basically, is what that sign said. And then even after all that stuff was over, through either ignorance of the town or them just wanting to leave it up as like a sign of like, hey, F you kind of thing, they left it up for several years after the laws were implemented and everything.
Right. So this is something that a lot of people may not be familiar with, which is why some people are viewing it that way.
Right.
So
yeah.
But it's not, I don't even think it's like, all right, I get it. There are towns like that. But also, like I said, it's also community. Because again, I'm going to reiterate the fact that I was born and raised in the projects. You know, I'll tell you a quick story, very quick. During the protest for the gentleman that passed away, what was his name? The guy that got killed by the cop, got knelt on. George Floyd. Yes, thank you. Right. So they started marching down the FDR Drive, which is a highway leading to the Brooklyn Bridge, right? And there are different exits. One of the exits, the very last exit before the Brooklyn Bridge, is South Street. That is where I grew up. That is the projects. That there are multiple projects there. From what I understand, because I wasn't there, my mother told me that the people that live in the neighborhood, including the Arabs, we call them the Arabs that run the bodegas and stuff like that, were all on notice, and these motherfuckers tried to come into the neighborhood, and they just got like, it was a beating. Like, there were multiple project buildings. People lined up, they were ready. They couldn't even get into the store on Madison Street. It was horrible for them. And they decided to detour and get back onto the FDR Drive because they couldn't come into our small town and fuck around. And they learned. They fucked around and found out. And this is the hood. This is the New York City.
But I've also seen it backwards too. Now, I've heard stories of in Southern California and places closer to the border in Mexico. A guy told me a story one time. He went to a McDonald's and the drive-thru, and they spoke straight Spanish through the drive-thru. No, like, hey, welcome to McDonald's, straight Spanish. He went to order in English, and they kept trying to do it in Spanish. So they finally took his order. And when he pulled up to the window, they were like, hey, look, if you're not the right color to be around these parts, so like you need to get out of here before nighttime. And these are Hispanics.
A white dude.
I have dealt with that because I've toured, and I have found myself in the wrong area because, you're working some area and you go looking for food or whatever. And I can assure you there are towns that are sundown towns, and they are brown or black. So same thing.
I want to give a shout out real quick.
Or even Asian. I've had that happen with Chinatowns too, where you are not welcome here.
As I facilitate the show here, I just have to give a big shout out. This is actually one of the nicest live audiences. We're 31 strong right now. So thank you guys for joining us. We usually average about 20 watchers and stuff. So please keep
Colin
spreading the word.
Former billionaire.
Oh, shut
up.
Yes.
It's because you're here, Colin. And I want to say hi to everybody who's joining us late. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thomas, you're funny. He's like, he just plays country music backwards, so he gets all our shit back. So here's ultimately what I was trying to say. Ultimately, the song, I like the song. What I don't like is that it pushes divide. So
does it, or does it push unity within the small town?
For me, I
look at
see it as divide. And I feel like we have so much divide agenda already. That's the part that bothers me. So if you just take the song for what it is, it's a rocking country song, and it's badass.
Awesome.
So if you're trying to find the deeper message, I feel like there's a divide aspect to it. And as you know, we here at the A Show are all about unity, being moderates, no left, no right. It's somewhere in the middle, somewhere between propaganda and conspiracy theories lies the truth. So it's always the gray area for us. So I don't like divide.
See, I agree and I disagree with you at the same time. I understand where you can see that, April. And Colin, tell me if you agree with me. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But I genuinely feel that they can be divided about anything, because I can do a podcast right now talking about how soccer is the greatest sport in the history of the world, and I literally will get visceral comeback.
What? You don't like baseball?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So anything could be looked at as
yes,
quote unquote
100%.
divisive. It's funny because you saw it one way, and me being a Latino male from the city, I saw it a different way because I've lived in a situation where I grew up in a close-knit community. So I understood where he was coming from. Colin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I lived in kind of a close-knit community. I mean, I remember growing up, you could run through people's backyards and other things like that without getting in trouble, right? Like we played flashlight tag, we ran all throughout town and all that stuff because we knew everybody. And then they started changing how it works. But I've lived in some towns too where like the cops know each other. Like you hear about this type of stuff where the cops know the person. So if that was little Timmy, he's going to rob somebody. I mean, we've had Nick Havard on the show, and he's told plenty of stories about they know the drunk guy that when he got hit by the train. They knew the drunk townie guy just got killed, right? They know these people.
It's Detective Nick Havard.
Yeah, sorry, yes.
For the people that weren't out on that show, we were doing police stories.
And Ray, I did send you a link about the Gilbert Brantley thing. I don't know if you want to pull it up and see what he has to say about it all. But
where'd you send the link to, my friend?
I texted it to you.
You texted it to me. Great. All right. Now I have to do like 8 different steps now to get it to my laptop. All right, go ahead, do your thing.
No, it's all good. But yeah, so I do feel like you will fuck around and find out in a small town and see what happens, right? Like when I lived near Macon, I lived in Warner Robins, Georgia, and they would say that the criminals, people in Warner Robins didn't do a lot of crime in Warner Robins. You would get criminals from Macon and surrounding areas coming to Warner Robins to commit the crimes because almost everybody knows each other, because it was a small, close-knit military community. Even there, the little town called Centerville, there's probably like 500 people to 1,000 people that live in that area, right? And everybody knows everybody, or everybody's related to everybody in some way, right? Like you're meeting somebody's cousin or somebody's friend, and that's how it is. You fuck around with somebody, you're gonna have a family of 5 coming after you at some point in time.
Colin, did you want me to share the little video on this page?
Yeah, you can.
All right, let me do that here. Here we go. I don't know what the hell Colin was going to play, but this is LeVar Burton. Good morning, y'all. To everyone except Jason Aldean. No, that's not nice.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what he says here. Oh, this should be sound. Wait, what am I doing here? I
don't know. You got it muted.
Why is it? Is it? Are they talking over it?
No, I think it's him talking.
Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, guys. That was my fault. And
yeah, I said this was an upgrade.
His latest track, live music, have received criticism for pro-gun stance on violence.
America's pro-gun stance.
All right,
turn it down a little bit, right?
Yeah. Music.
I thought it would be him talking.
No, it's not him talking. So what did you want me to say? Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have Billy Ray Valentine's song, so I'll just, you know what?
Just play this song, whatever that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Do not play Billy Ray Valentine's song.
Right.
He said the racist. He said the racist. It's not the racist.
Play the racist song.
Okay.
We don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, BRV.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Should I?
How about this?
Now?
I got this music. See if this works for you. Ready, Blue Ray? Hold on.
What's up? You don't even need to play any music.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the most infinite of fringes, if America was here, he would go around the back of the television and unplug it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our man, our friend, the one and the only, BRV, Billy Ray Valentine. Oh yeah, motherfucker.
What's up,
going
yo?
on? How you guys doing?
All right, let me just turn this shit the fuck off. What's going on?
We are
bro?
doing spectacularly. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I came
Good.
home after work, put on the show, sitting there, decided to comment and say hello. And Ray sucks me in. Ray's like, "Come on."
We are glad you did. We are
I
glad
can't
you
say
did.
no to Ray, so I got to
I
do
know.
it. What's
I've heard
going
that
on?
Nobody can say no to Ray.
I've heard that before, baby.
This guy.
Ain't that right, Colin?
Your wife told me to
no
say
one.
that.
No
What?
one.
My wife told you that? Bullshit.
Yes.
She says no to me all the time. Her and her perpetual
What's up,
headaches.
people? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good. What's this you got here?
So we were just talking about the Jason Aldean song.
What's that
No.
necklace you got on? What's the
So what are we
necklace?
talking? What?
Oh no, he's
That
looking at
the
necklace,
necklace?
what is it?
No, he's
I
looking at
am wearing-
no, he's looking at these.
Big ass titties.
Is that what you're
You
asking?
know, as in life, no matter what I do, I'm always the token female with a bunch of guys. So
Big ass
I know you're looking at my necklace, which is actually
Oh.
a guitar pick.
It's a
Oh, that's
guitar.
dope.
Oh, that's cool.
Can
I
you
thought
bring it
it
a
was
little
a
closer to the
Jason.
camera? Oh shit, there it is again. Let me see the. I can't see the guitar pick. I'm not being
Here,
fresh.
you want to see the guitar pick? There you go.
Oh my god.
Dope.
Big ass titties.
Anyway, boobies. All right. So god damn it, we lost our train of thought. So we're talking about Jason Aldean, Billy Ray Valentine, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, brother. That would be okay with you, April.
I have no thoughts.
On Jason Aldean?
You literally got to brief me on all of this. What's going on?
Well, then never mind. If you
Yeah,
don't know,
never
I
mind.
don't-
We'll
don't even
move
go
on.
into it.
It's the
Yeah.
country song, you freaking
I
No,
don't know
that's all
anything
right. If he's
about it.
avoiding it.
I've seen the name like trending and all, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about country. I don't care to know. I don't know what he did. What did he do?
Ask-
How racist was
ask
he?
the dirtiest-
He's so fucking New York.
Jesus.
Ask the
fucking
dirtiest
Christ.
in the city about it, BRV.
You know what? Fuck it. Billy Ray Valentine, there's a fucking Congress gimmick going on. They have two aliens trapped in the basement somewhere. You hear about that? You know about
Yes.
that,
Did you
right?
see Mitch McConnell freeze up?
I did. That was
You
scary.
did.
I
Did you
felt
see that,
bad
April?
for him,
I
and
did not know.
I never feel bad.
Let me
for
see if I
Mitch
show the video.
Oh my God. He starts to he gets two sentences out, April, and then he's just
Boom.
Really?
Stops.
Wow.
They
Okay.
had to escort him off the stage.
Get
yeah.
out. Really?
And he was like that for a good minute too,
Yeah.
before they even came up and tried to take him off the stage.
Nobody even gave a shit about the old man. Even my wife,
Nope.
she was like,
No.
"Oh," she was like, "Oh."
I don't like him. I used to live in Kentucky, and he was no.
Oh, Sinead O'Connor.
Of
God bless.
course. Well, let's take a look at old Mitch O'Connor or whatever the fuck his name. So he goes, "Hey,
How old is that guy? He's 105.
Yeah, at least.
Week
Here he goes.
Yeah.
about arts and cooperation
What?
and a string of
There it is.
Damn.
Is he having a stroke? Is that what
I
happened?
think so. Something.
Wait, be real quiet. You can hear something. Watch.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, boy.
Holy
That's
shit!
what's going on inside his head.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
He's like picturing Matt Gaetz and AOC in his head.
Right, that's the winner right there.
Oh my god.
No, and then he doesn't know where he's going. Look, he doesn't know where he's going. They have to escort him off.
We're not
crazy.
laughing at the
So this
situation.
is the we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary.
All right, shut the fuck up. All right, so yeah, Mitch
Wow.
McConnell, man. Just fucking they turned off his battery almost ran out, man.
That's why you don't entrust this country to 80-year-old people.
80. That's
we're about
that's
to get
young.
it. We're about to
81.
get another one. So
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Trump?
Artist goes, was he vaxxed? He froze suddenly. Oh, speaking of,
Well, why
of,
don't we
the,
jump into why don't we talk about
the
Bronny
Pfizer,
James?
the Pfizer plant was mysteriously destroyed by a tornado last week.
Tornado.
Yeah, it was you could say that it was an act of God and they got what they deserved, or you could say that it was an insurance claim because they're not selling what they should be. I don't know.
Billy Ray Valentine
Could be
would know.
anything.
Do you know about this?
I think they always they always end out on top, right? So it was probably
Right.
an insurance claim, if anything, right?
Probably.
Like that company can do. I mean, it does plenty wrong, but it can do no wrong, right? At the same
Right.
time, it always comes out on top, no matter what. So
a little weather modification right over top.
Seriously. I feel bad for Mitch McConnell. I can't say that I really feel bad for Pfizer at all.
Why not? They're good people there. They
no, I'm sure the people are. I'm just
Oh.
the dead corporation, right? The corporation, that dead entity. I'm not a fan of it. But yeah, the people, of course, it's very different.
And someone said, is that the same weapon they used to knock down the Guidestones in Georgia?
You know, I was really upset when they knocked down the Georgia Guidestones. For one, I never got to see them, right? And I was driving from Tampa back to New York like 2 years ago, and we were in Georgia, and I was like, let's go see the Guidestones. And I almost convinced the people that I was with to do it.
The kids were like, fuck you, Dad, no.
And then we came back. It wasn't my kid's asshole.
Oh,
anyway.
I don't know.
So we didn't go, right? We didn't go, and then they blew these things up, and I was like, man, like, why would you blow those things up? Like, why would you do something like that? Completely gone. Now we can't even point at them as evidence, right? Because a lot of people don't even know they exist.
I know, right? I know, and they also told time. They were sundials. They did a bunch of things that were amazing. It's like, what are you doing? Why would you ruin that?
Why would you screw that up? But some idiot went ahead and did that. So.
Yeah, well,
and no cameras were involved. Nobody caught it, right? Nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Nobody ever catches stuff like that.
Right.
Should have seen Colin with his hair down earlier, Billy Ray. That shit was creepy. He like an old man who'll fight you in an alley for a ham sandwich.
Bite your nose off.
Yeah.
Right, like clean off your face.
He like the old man from The Simpsons, you know, the homeless guy with the.
No, he looked like the drummer from Muppets. Animal.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Animal.
That's my animal.
Animal is my favorite Muppet. You know they turned Gonzo gay. They turned him not gay, trans.
Shut up.
Really?
Gonzo is trans now. He is.
Did you know Bert and Ernie were gay? Yeah, we all knew.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie been gay since the get, right? Since the beginning.
Exactly.
They took bubble bath. Rubber
ducky. Right, so sleeping on separate beds. I'm like, we all knew what the deal was, man. Like,
well, everyone slept in separate, like everybody slept in separate beds back then. Remember, like even married couples, you watch A Christmas Story, and
like
you go
Dick
into
Van
the
Dyke
parents' room. Yeah, exactly.
I love Lucy.
I heard that was only for TV though.
Yeah, Lucy and Desi, different. That
was the rules for TV too.
Yeah.
And now they don't give a damn. But yeah, they Gonzo is well, at least he dressed up like a princess and said he wanted to be what he wanted to be, and people needed to be accepting of him.
I could totally see Gonzo as trans, 100%.
Winona says Rubber Ducky held their lube.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
So
do you think they kept files in that building?
Hell fucking yeah. And the aliens
in the Pfizer building?
Yeah. Do you think there were certain files or maybe some things that were in that building that they wanted to get rid of? Not necessarily vaccines and insurance claims, but
it's
entirely, we all know about WTC 7. So
yeah, right. It's implausible. I mean, it's very plausible, isn't it? Like, I don't know how much people are really doing the research because they certainly did not about the jab. But there is something called weather modification, and these contracts have been in play for a long time, and there are side effects to them. There is also something called a polar shift, and the Earth has shifted north toward the sun, which means we are hotter now. So the weather being hotter has nothing to do with our cars or cow farts or how many people are here right now. It has to do with the fact that we are a little bit closer to the sun and it's fucking hot. So, and hopefully the Earth will correct itself and go back to where it was, just like the coral reefs have corrected themselves and the ozone layer has corrected itself. Because the Earth generally does correct itself if we leave it alone. But there are powers that be that are super, super invested in new energy, and they want to make a fat fucking profit. And they are not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you it's man-made climate change. So they need you to get on board and buy their bullshit and pay their taxes because, God damn it, they are going to make some money. Never mind the fact that nobody has once suggested free shit like planting more trees if there was a carbon issue, or the fact that windmills are screwing up marine life, or the fact that light pollution is messing things up for animals. Nobody talks about any of that or doing anything at ground level. It's all big stuff. Or that mining for electric vehicles and batteries is destroying entire areas and countries, and there's no way to dispose of them. Never mind all that. Oh, and that they're using child slave labor too. That's all fine. But big oil's the problem.
We'll have artificial intelligence in an artificial world, April.
Yeah. And climate change is a real thing. Yeah. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's changing because the earth has shifted north toward the sun, not because we are driving cars with gasoline and cows are farting. And if you actually are to believe that, you should get 3 more boosters.
Damn.
Because they're safe and effective. God damn it.
Well, you know, for one, I don't disagree with what you said, but I do think gasoline is a problem. Right?
It is a problem.
I think we can get off of that, you know, and
we could run cars. We could run cars on water, dude, if we wanted to.
Yeah, could run them on water.
The guy that did that, they killed him. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Yes, they did kill him.
And there's the guy that ran his car on fumes.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And we can all do that, right? And do this without having to spend any money. Right.
Yeah.
And we are polluting the earth, right? That's a thing.
Yes, we are.
You know, and people tend to bring the two together, right? Climate change and pollution, right? And they're like, oh, well, we're polluting the earth, therefore there is climate change. There could be two different things here. We are definitely screwing up the earth, but I always say, when we are long gone, the earth will still be here. It will regenerate. Yep. We are only hurting ourselves. That's all we're doing, right? And I don't know if there'll be a correction. You know, if there's supposed to be a shift, maybe we're screwed. And that's just the way things are.
It's like every 100,000 years something happens to the earth, and we're about
supposedly
that
we weren't around. These are all theories. I have no idea what happened beyond 1980. Okay, but before 1980, I have no idea.
And that's the thing, we can't know because we haven't been able to accurately study weather for very long. I mean, before we have the mechanics to do it now, basically somebody walked outside with a mercury thermometer, held it up and wrote it down, and then they put it in the farmer's almanac. So we've had 5 extinctions. The earth has had 5 extinctions, and most of them have been ice ages. So the earth has survived. It's the inhabitants that have gone extinct.
Right. Yeah.
And as far as me not believing in climate change, I absolutely believe in it. I've been I've been eco with all this my entire life. What I don't believe is that when I was screaming about it at the top of my lungs 30 years ago and nobody was listening, that all of a sudden now it's a big problem. There's been a lot of us who have been working with this for a long time, and the solutions that they are offering right now are not the best solutions, and they are not the only solutions, and they are definitely not the best solutions.
What do you think about it? What do you think about it, Adam Cole? I mean, Colin.
I mean, I do feel like there is climate change, and like she said, there has been multiple extinctions throughout the world. But I think that's
Can you just go boom once?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, thank you.
That's the this isn't the Wednesday locker room. We don't do that here.
Sorry.
I just feel like climate change. I mean, I have theories on how the Earth actually rotates, and it doesn't necessarily rotate in a round. Like the Earth rotates at an axis. Yeah. And I feel like it rotates one way, but it also rotates another way with a different pressure. So there's probably times where, yes, throughout time, the world probably will end up, the climate and everything changes with how the world kind of rotates as a ball, just floating out in space, right? So I think as time changes, you know, like you said, thousands of years go by, we're going to see differences in the climate change because it's just the world resetting itself. And it's always just kind of like how human cells, every 7 years, you're a different being cellularly because your cells change. Just like the world, probably every couple thousand years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, you don't know what cycle it's on, could be rotating and changing the environment that we live in.
Yeah, but you're assuming also that the world is round. Come on.
To that point, to all my flat earthers out there, I will be at Flattoberfest in Las Vegas
That's a thing. That's really a thing.
It is a thing. I've been invited, and I'm gonna go.
Well, April can't
All right,
go.
you gotta tell us about that one.
April, April can't be invited. You know why? Because
I do not believe that the Earth.
Get it?
I do not believe the Earth is flat. I'm sorry.
No,
no.
And there's.
Oh.
I was about to say
Where's the financial gain in telling us for years and years and years that there's a flat Earth?
So I'm going. It's in Vegas in October. I'll report live for the A show while I'm there. Actually, it's over weekends, but I'll tape something and send it to you. It's gonna be freaking dope. I can't wait. And yeah, the Sahara Desert, they said, used to be a forest, right? That they used to have all types of tropical stuff going on there, and over there in Antarctica, it had a bunch of stuff. Like it used to be lush green paradise, according to some. There's
Atlantis was above ground, right?
Atlantis was everything was like, yeah. So I mean, they know there was other civilizations, other worlds, and that we've built our world on top of other ones. They can do that now with carbon dating and everything, that we have available now. There have been other civilizations, and we're finding out more and more about that now.
Interesting. Somebody asked me earlier today. Somebody asked if Sesame Street. I know we're jumping around, but Sesame Street was indeed woke, and this is just a quick little gimmick here. This is like
when we were kids.
No, right now.
Oh,
take a look at this. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I know you love him, Billy Ray. Check that out.
Sesame Street. It's made for 3-year-olds.
Elmo and I wanted to share that everyone is always welcome on Sesame Street.
It's true.
This month and every month, we want to uplift and celebrate our LGBTQIA+ family, friends, and communities.
Yeah, that's right, Miss Ariana. From our Sesame Street family to yours, happy Pride. Elmo loves you.
And I love you, Elmo.
Well, love is love, guys. Here they are promoting it to children.
So,
wow.
So they're really perpetuating it. That's just a little portion of what they've done. Apparently they had this what's that? The two fucking the Muppets, Big Bird and the Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
They actually had a scene I think it was a couple of months ago, and it was a big outrage where Snuffleupagus had the fucking gag ball in his mouth. And Big Bird was hitting him with the little stick gimmick on his elephant ass.
I don't believe.
Are you serious?
No,
I don't believe.
No, you guys have kids. I don't have kids. I don't know what's going on.
My son is 15.
You made that whole thing.
I'm not the only one who asked if that was true or not. And hi, everybody, for joining us late. Thanks
super
for coming
serious.
in.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I guess I'm writing for children's entertainment and I'm not doing it right. Okay, here's my question. All right, I'm going to ask this. Why is anybody talking about sexuality at all? I mean,
no, it shouldn't be a thing.
I don't even understand why that's even just even mentionable, even a thing. I don't get it. Even straight, why even talk about any of it? It doesn't matter. And that's my first question. The second is he's asking what the temperature is. Chowny Man is. Hi, Chowny Man. 115 in Vegas. We've been in triple digits in Florida. It's been high 90s, and a couple times my car has read at 106 this past week.
That's crazy.
But isn't Florida a lot more humid than the Vegas dry heat out there?
Yeah, I used to live in Vegas. Yeah, it's humid as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, so that 100 is probably a lot different because of the humidity. Because it's like that here in North Carolina. It was like 94, 95 today.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because sweating is how you cool off, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can't evaporate because the humidity land on your skin. You cannot cool off. So
I mean, you can.
So smart.
No, I'm not.
You just got that right now, Billy Ray Bouncer. Hey,
now it just came to me.
Do you remember that song? I was gonna do a podcast until I got high. Remember that song?
Yeah, I remember.
So check out this fucking story. This is awesome.
This one you'll see only right here on Fox 19 now. Rapper Afro Man says he will not stop using videos of deputies raiding his home to promote his music and merchandise. Saying the rapper is causing harm not only to their lives but their families. Ken Baker now with both sides of the story.
The saga continues between the Adams County Sheriff's Office and Afro Man. In this latest chapter, Afro Man responds after some of the deputies who raided his property back in August by power of a warrant want their names, pictures, and likeness removed from all promotional material, social media posts, and songs.
Let me quickly explain, guys. Afro Man actually wrote a song about the police breaking his front door and gate, and then he made a music video which showed the actual raid.
You know, I made jokes out of what they did.
Is that A-Track? Anyway, so.
And they're suing me for humiliation. You know, that's what I feel every day, and that's what I felt when they kicked down my door and didn't want to offer to help me out. You know, once they didn't find drugs being trafficked, once they didn't find kidnapping victims.
It was back in August of last year. The Adams County Sheriff's Office used a signed affidavit claiming probable cause of human trafficking and drug activity on the rapper's property. After many months and a long investigation, deputies said nothing was found and no charges ever materialized.
Oh.
These are just some of the images Afro Man captured on his home surveillance of the raid. It's those images today that you can find on merchandise.
Oh, if it's his on video.
He says the money being pulled in through his songs and that merchandise depicting that August raid is helping him to rebuild his life and repair his property.
Before I continue,
if that's his video, fuck the police for that. Yeah.
But can he do that though?
It's his video, yeah.
I'm okay with that. If they raided his house and found nothing and just did it just because, if they're on his video and they fucked up and they were just doing it out of spite, guess what? Oh well.
Yeah.
Just like in public, you give up your right with all the cameras or whatever. It's just like the Aldean song. All those protesters on the song that are mad. I'm sorry, the cops. You know, if you're dumb enough to raid a house just because you're doing it, you better expect to be on surveillance.
Let me just show you a little portion.
Like the police don't put that surveillance footage on those cop shows all the time and embarrass the people.
Yeah.
Hold on, check this out.
They make entire TV shows from it.
Artists, they were looking for trafficking, human trafficking, and drugs.
Jesus.
This is the actual music video, guys.
It's very sentimental.
So this is the actual cops. They're actually in his apartment right now doing the actual raid. And I just want to play the very first 30 seconds of this song, and I'm going to talk over this so the algorithm can't pick this up. This is why I'm going to keep talking until the music starts. Here we go. Now,
will you help me repair my gate?
This is amazing.
Will you help me repair my door?
The talent on this guy.
Did you find what you was looking for?
Probably not.
Will you help me repair my gate and door?
Those things need to be fixed, you know?
Wow.
Beautiful.
They kicked that shit in. So why does he have a gate? Just curious.
Keep
the police out.
Yeah, keep the police out.
How about just to keep regular people out?
Yeah.
He
does have a nice couch.
His first album, the Because I Got High album, I've listened to that album all the way through so many times. It dropped when I think I was like a junior or senior in high school.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Hold on, guys.
You need to go listen to it, BRV, if you've never listened to Afro Man.
Oh, everybody's heard that song.
Yeah, I've only heard
everybody.
that song. Right.
There's a part of this song that makes me laugh the most, and I fast forwarded to because so they go into the kitchen, right? And you can see a piece of lemon cake on the counter.
Yeah.
So listen to this one. This is this part.
Would you like a slice of lemon pound cake? You can take as much as you wanna take. There must be a big mistake. Would you like to have a slice of my lemon pound cake?
So good. He is so good.
That is fabulous, man.
It is fabulous.
Good.
And yes, I would like a slice of that lemon pound cake.
Hell yeah, I want some lemon cake.
Lemon pound cake.
I want
good,
lemon
right?
cake. Now I want lemon cake. Thanks, guys.
But that's also a strain of weed, and he's a weed rapper. So one of his most recent albums that he's dropped in the last 2 years was called Lemon Pound Cake.
No way.
Really?
Yes.
You know way too much about
Well, how do you know that, Colin?
Because I like listening to Afro Man.
Oh, are you an Afro Man
Sure
fan?
it is. Sure it is.
Yes.
Also, I didn't know he really had them.
Yes, he had he had his first. I just literally said I listened to his first album all the time when I was in high school.
That is insanity.
He's got one song where he tells a joke and he's like, there was this blind man. And he was walking down, and he stopped in front of the fish market, and he took a big deep breath and said, "Morning, ladies." And then the song kicks in. It's hilarious.
You know what?
You're being accused of being a pothead in our chat.
No,
Colin.
not Colin.
not accused. I'm sorry, assumed.
Just because he looks like a drug addict in an alley doesn't mean, you know.
Only when he's got his animal hair out.
Animal.
Can you please let your hair down just so they can see?
No,
it?
that's a Patreon exclusive. You got to go to Patreon.com/April Hunter if you're gonna catch that on Patreon.
Thank you, Colin. And while we're doing that, hey, I want to say thank you to everybody who is subscribing to us, which you can also do through your Amazon Prime. I want to say thank you if you are following us on Twitch TV, The A Show. We also have, as you know, Patreon.com, The A Show. You can see me, Patreon.com, April Hunter. And if you're following us also on Rumble right now, hello. We appreciate you. And that's it. I mean,
if you have, I was gonna say, if you have Amazon Prime, it's already included, and if you subscribe, it actually helps us out and helps things to move along. So
big ass titties.
Whoa.
Yes, it does help us.
It's a month-to-month subscription for the show, so do it.
It doesn't even come out of your own
boobies.
I'll give you some titties for biddies. If you're throwing those biddies, you get some titties here.
What knockers?
Nice.
So here's something for you guys.
Yes.
So celebrating joy for others. You know, like you hear somebody's doing something good, and your first response sometimes is like jealousy, like they got promoted or something good happened to them. If you actually reframe that and turn it around and celebrate their joy, it elevates your own energy and brings more good to you. So there's a term for let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of people will watch reality shows, like crappy reality shows, to try and feel better about themselves, and that's called Schadenfreude. So when you watch bad things, exactly, that's Gesundheit.
Got it. She's so smart. You are so fucking smart.
Was ist das für einen Scheiße?
All right, stop with your nasty talk.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Okay, so when
oui.
Okay, you want to switch? No.
Oui, parlez-vous français?
On parle.
Je m'appelle Ray.
On parle français.
On parle français.
Yeah, je m'appelle April.
I only know Spanish.
Oh, you don't speak.
So,
Billy Ray.
Anyway,
all right, go ahead.
So it's Schadenfreude when you're watching somebody do bad, and it makes you feel good about yourself. So you have to measure yourself by that standard, and it's called Freudenfreude when you help celebrate somebody's wins. So it lifts you, it lifts your energy, it lifts your spirit, it lifts everything, and it changes your energy to celebrate with them. So
what is it when Billy Ray celebrates when I fail all the time? Because he does that.
That's Schadenfreude.
Okay, so make sure.
Yeah.
Why do you do that, Billy Ray Valentine?
Because it's fun. You know, watching you fail is really fun. It makes me feel better about myself. I'm like, you know what? I didn't fail so miserably at life, you know?
Right.
So I look at you and I'm like, damn, you know, I could be doing so much worse.
Speaking about that, can I borrow $5?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, as Chuck says, malicious enjoyment of another's misfortune. Thank you for dividing that so wonderfully. Seriously. And Wolf, thank you for subscribing for 17 months. You're awesome.
God damn. Well, I don't have a fucking
I know. Thank you, Wolf. These flexies are for you. Woo!
Wow.
You know, I could do this when he does that.
Yeah.
All right. For every subscription, that works, right?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So haterism makes the world go round. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They always say love is the real language out there in the universe, and that's where we need to be. We just can't seem to get there, you know. That's what we're trying to do on this podcast. Get some love going, you guys.
Yeah.
Get some go.
We mix in a little, shit with some ice cream.
Wait, I got one more. I got a question. Throw this in, and then
that's what she said.
I've seen some really fucking stupid conspiracy theories lately. I mean, really out there. Really,
get ready,
really
Billy Ray
stupid.
Valentine.
Okay, so like that, the Sound of Freedom was financed by the elites, and that that Jamie Foxx was actually cloned instead of just sick. Okay, these are just stupid. I mean,
those are stupid.
Yes, they are stupid.
I thought those were the truths, and then you're going to get into the stupid.
No,
thing.
these are stupid.
Oh.
And of course, Jamie Foxx wasn't fucking cloned. He was sick for a couple of months.
God bless.
He had yes. So these are dumb. And what I'm thinking is, it's after seeing so many of these ridiculous conspiracy theories, I'm wondering if you guys are seeing it too. And I'm thinking that the conspiracy theory community, I guess, was so accurate the last 3 years that now they've been infiltrated by others to completely denigrate the movement and put this ridiculous, outlandish stuff in there to try and just make it discredit it, because we all know that everything that was said was accurate. Everything. I mean, I don't think anybody had a miss on all of it. So now they put out this outlandish, crazy stuff, and it's really making everybody look stupid. And you know what I mean? I don't know.
Will you help me fix my gate?
With some
what?
I'll help you fix your gate, buddy. You know, even though I took joy in watching them destroy your gate, I will help you fix your gate as well. So
hold on, Billy Ray, real quick. Colin, can you lend me $5?
No, sorry.
I already lent.
I'll give you a slice. I got a slice of lemon pound cake for you.
Okay.
There you
All
go.
right, go ahead, Billy Ray. Jump in.
We can't support this stuff. You know, when you got to let him hit rock bottom, and then maybe he'll get better. If we keep bailing him out,
we're enabling.
Right. It's he's never going to get any better, and he's always going to ask us for $5 week after week after week.
You can teach a man to fish.
Right.
I want my $5.
You can give Ben $5 and he'll slap your face and he'll change your life.
No, he raised it to $10 because of inflation. You get a $5 face slap for $10.
Makes sense. Colin, you want to take this one, or you want me to go?
I don't got 5 on it right now, BRV. You go ahead and take it.
All right. So here's the Debbie Downer portion of the podcast, brought to you by Billy Ray Valentine. My apologies. I want to apologize ahead of time for what I'm about to say to you. And that's the people here. The Jamie Foxx thing, yeah, it's ridiculous, right? But this has been going on for some time. So we've been right, but we haven't always been right. And even in the last 2 years, 3 years, the most ridiculous conspiracy theories stemmed out of that. I remember, what was it? Dave Chappelle was a clone not too long ago.
Gucci Mane.
There was actually something to it, because his cousin said that Dave Chappelle was a clone. His cousin told him. All right, but here's the deal. You mentioned The Sound of Freedom. And that it was, and Colin knows, because Colin watches America Unplugged, and I spazzed for about 30 minutes on this, because it's my and the genius of it is that it is about an issue that no one can make fun of and no one can talk about in a way that's disparaging without people saying, you hate kids, what's wrong with you? Why are you hating on this movie when it's obviously just trying to put out a message? So let's go over it real quick. I won't take up too much of your time. Was it funded by the elites? It was funded by Carlos Slim, and
the rapper,
or yes, the rapper.
I don't know who that is.
By
Sounds like a rapper.
Thug. So it was Carlos Slim's son was involved here, and Carlos Slim is one of the wealthiest men, one of the wealthiest men on the planet, and he's also a liberal, I think, if I'm right about it. But he funded it, so that's where that comes from, right? Second, this documentary, while there is no mention of QAnon within, it's not a documentary either. First off, it's just
right.
They keep drilling it into my head that it's a documentary. The alternative media is largely wrong about this film. But so they say it's a documentary, that it's based on real life story, on real life events, which it kind of is. But let's remember, it's Hollywood. So there's a lot of things that are aggrandized and changed, right? So yeah, was it funded by the elite? It kind of was, right? Second, Jim Caviezel is next level Q-tarded, which and this can be proven. I mean,
That's
next level. The most ridiculous conspiracy that has divided America, that has come out and completely colonized the minds of most Americans, QAnon. You know, and Jim Caviezel still believes in it now. Still. Now, there's a lot of people that believed in QAnon before that no longer believe, but they still subscribe to some of the narratives. Jim Caviezel is still a Q-tard, 100%. So, I'm trying to be serious, Ray. So
that was him. That's Carlos Slim.
They got. I'm talking about Jim Caviezel. Can we keep up?
All right,
right? Put up a picture of Jim Caviezel.
I'm gonna do that. Go ahead.
And not him as Jesus Christ. So he calls himself.
That was
Jesus
I was
Christ.
googling right now. You know me.
He I know exactly what you're gonna do. He calls Donald Trump Moses. This can be proven, right? So it's like, what does this have to do with the film? The film is as popular as it is. It has made $100 million plus as it is because of what happened with QAnon. And they're like, well, they started making this movie before QAnon popped off. It doesn't matter when first off, they started filming it in 2018 and QAnon came out in 2017. The script was written before that, supposedly, or around the same time, right? But there was already the trail was being set here with what was it, with Pizzagate, you know, which was before that. It was 2016 when Pizzagate was laid out, and that was the whole rollout for the precursor for QAnon. And a Gamergate came out before that, and that was Steve Bannon was intimately involved with that. So this is why this movie is so popular. It's not because people are like, oh, you know, we have to do something about this organically, right? And I think there's well-meaning people that are going to watch the movie and are really wanting to do something. But the movie itself, it's only as popular because of the, I want to say, the mind operation that's going on. And it's got people divided to a point where it's politicized the issue. And people are going to see it to own the liberals and say how evil the liberals are, that they don't want to support this movie, right? Then you sit there and watch the movie, and what do we get? What do we do at the end of the day? They saw the movie. Oh my God, there goes Jim Caviezel. And at the end, what does he say in order to mobilize people? What avenues do they give to get people to actually combat child trafficking? Oh, go watch the movie again. Go tell somebody so they can go watch the movie.
Right.
You know, and that's the solution that's offered. And then Tim Ballard,
Tim Allen, right,
is supposed CIA. There's questions about what level of CIA he actually was. He could have been an intern to that level. He did work for the Department of Homeland Security. That is true, you know. But a lot of the narratives that he's busting down homes and busting down doors to get kids, that was largely made up. It doesn't kind of work that way. There's been a lot of scrutiny to this. There's a lot of people that have been investigating this for quite some time, and it's not exactly as it's cracked up to be. So when you go watch this and you go support, think about where that came from, where that idea came from. You know, you mentioned something earlier, April. I forgot what it was, but you were spot on about it, and it relates to this. Because so many people are all of a sudden invested in the child trafficking narrative. Why? You weren't before. You weren't before.
I was talking about climate change.
Right. That's what it is. Same thing. The same exact. Thank you for bringing it up. It's the same exact thing. It's being pushed. It's being pushed in the mainstream, and it's being pushed for political reasons. And that's why this is going on. So that's my issue with.
So why do you think it's being pushed for political reasons? One, and two, do you not agree that more awareness to this issue is a good thing?
And before you answer that, this is Jim Caviezel judging you. Mel Gibson. Go ahead. Talk while they're staring at you.
No. No. More awareness is. I wouldn't even be able to get through it. Like, take it off, Ray.
All right.
No, don't take it off. Take off those pictures. Don't take anything else off.
All right.
Just
all right. Sorry.
Because then he'll go off and take
only
off.
God can judge you.
Can you please continue?
Like
He's judging you too. Go ahead.
Well, thank you.
All right. Go ahead. Continue.
You see now, what did you want me to say, April? I completely lost it. What was it? What was it?
I don't know. I don't know what I said.
Shit, man, it was good.
I said Okay.
Colin, you remember?
I lost it. I know the second part was bringing more awareness to this
okay.
issue.
Right.
Do you not think that is a good thing? First off,
it's a good thing to bring awareness to the issue, right?
The second is, why are they pushing this narrative?
But where is it coming from? The thing is, it's bringing awareness to the issue, and where is it? It's like, all right, the way I like to say it is like we're lambs being led to the slaughter, right?
Yeah. What political reasons are there for doing this? And like, for example, why did California just strike down pedophilia as a major crime?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I have to look into that. That sounds that doesn't sound right.
Great.
No, it didn't, but they did.
I mean, there must be more to it.
What are they calling it? What are they calling it?
I will go on America Unplugged and straight up say it. Be like, there's nothing more.
Minor attracted persons.
Yeah,
why is that a thing now?
Yeah, that's a because they're trying to normalize this stuff.
Right. So why is that happening?
Right. Why?
Well,
because honestly, it's fucking gross.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for it, but as far as it being politicized, it's been pushed into the mainstream to divide people between left and right. This all came from the awareness, the recent awareness of it came out of QAnon because Donald Trump was locking up all the pedophiles, and there were indictments all over the place, right? And Tom Hanks was under house arrest, and Hillary Clinton was under house arrest, and John McCain was killed in a tribunal, right, for crimes against humanity. These are the outrageous conspiracy theories that took place while COVID was going on. While we were right about the vaccines, we were wrong about all this other stuff, and people followed it like a donkey following a carrot. And so this is where it comes out of, and it continues to solidify a divide, pointing at the Democrats, because who's doing this in the eyes of the people that are watching it? Let's see, the target audience here were conspiracy theorists, right-wing Republicans, and highly fundamental religious people. Those were the target audience for this film. The people that put out this film, the company that put it out, is a religious company. They only put out Jesus films. The ones that made and put this out, right? And so that's the target audience here, because these are the people that are openly voting for someone like Donald Trump, but more importantly, demonizing the left like they are child molesting blood drinkers, right? And even if they are running child trafficking rings, if the Clintons are allegedly running child trafficking rings, they're not alone. It goes across the aisle. And what they're trying to do is, what they've done successfully with the majority of people that are invested in this, the people that are voting, if you believe the numbers, 75 million people voted for Trump and 80-something million people voted for Biden. If you believe those numbers, all of those people have been mind colonized to think that they have a choice and going to vote at the polls, right? And some an issue like this is what heats up the Republicans, saying that these evil Democrats are doing all of this. They're spearheading all of this, and we need to stop them. Right now, they talked about digital warriors. You need to get on the computer and be a digital warrior. A digital warrior for whom? Straight out of QAnon. Michael Flynn was the one that perpetuated that. So this is where the child trafficking narrative comes from. It was a thing. I'm sorry, April. I'm almost done. It was a thing for sure. It's something that we need to look at, right? But also, who's putting out the message, right? It's raising awareness, but who's putting out the message? And is the messenger the best messenger for it? Are they easily discredited? Because when Jim Caviezel is the one putting out the message, they'll just say, "Yeah, he's a freaking Q-tard." Next, right? When whomever, what is it? Dana White comes up there and starts talking about this. What do they say? Well, he's a Trump supporter. Done. And that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So this is a lot of things rolled into one. It's the culture war. It's the divide between left and right, and the reincorporation into the left-right paradigm, and people being invested into this process. This is what's going on. It's a very complicated mind operation. The U.S. Army put out the Ghost in the Machine video not too long ago, recruiting mind warfare agents openly, telling you what they were going to do. They are playing with us like a lion and his food. We are the food. That's what's going on here. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we're talking about who's funding this and all this other stuff. I mean, I still think it's Sesame Street. They putting shit out like this. I mean,
Transition Me Elmo is dope. I'm getting it for Christmas.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the hottest toy this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
It's gonna be the hottest toy.
So if you guys, head over to Hasbro.com, tweet them.
Transition me, Daddy-O. That's what sounds
God,
Transition me.
So BRV actually said the point that I was going to make about the whole thing, about how it's being used as a politicization, and the evangelical right and the hard right or whatever is being used as political pawns, much as what they do. And then it kind of coincides with what I said about the Jason Aldean thing, where they're just trying to cause division all over the place with everyone. And BRV, if you look at the timing of when this movie is released, right? So they've released it now. They're getting all this buzz for it, right? What happens next year? The election.
Oh.
No, the election.
Yes.
So then what happens when this comes out on the streaming services? This comes out on video the following summer, right before the election. It's going to start getting news traction again. Yeah. You're right. 100%. They're trying to drum up that right base so that they can get them back. We can get that red wave that we never got the last election, right? Or the one that they were looking for, right? The red wave. Mm-hmm. And you're 100% right. They're drumming up the base. They're trying to get these guys to go see it. They want everyone to know about it. And like you said, look at the Democrats. They're blood-sucking, adrenochrome drinking, da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, the right doesn't realize they're being used as pawns, because the right does the same thing. Trump is at the same parties that Hillary is
being
at.
Manipulated. Everybody's being manipulated.
Fake news.
Agreed. 100%.
They're all hanging out with each other.
So that's my
everybody's
issue.
being manipulated, and unfortunately, a lot of people are falling for it, and that's very frustrating when you see how fast people are being divided and how fast they're being manipulated and how fast they're ready to fight each other online and go for the jugular, when it's like, are you sure that what you're saying right now is real? Are you sure that's accurate? Or is that just your perception of it? Is that actual information? How do you know this? They can't tell you a lot of times, because it's inadvertently, one way or another, we're having so much come at us, and we're having so much come at us from the avenue of our choice that aligns with our values. So we're not even being subjected to other avenues. We're literally down a tunnel of whatever suits us. So if you're a Republican, you're down a right-wing tunnel. If you're Democrat, you're down a liberal tunnel. You're not even able to take in everything to make an accurate decision that encompasses all. And then add on the fact that the biggest perpetuators of false information and misinformation is the American government. So they're only giving us part of the story because information for people is not allowed. So then we have to do our own research and look and dig, at least the ones that have the time. We do that. And then they have the audacity to make up the term conspiracy theorist and call us this, when they're the ones withholding the information that we are entitled to have. We're entitled to know what is in the ingredients. We're entitled to know what's going on with the banks. We're entitled to know what's happening with these things that we're invested in, that we work with, that's going on. We're entitled to know all this, and they will not let us know. They just tell us, you just do it. Just do it. Just trust us. Just do it.
Absolutely.
And the ones that hold back and say, yeah, I don't know. Apparently they're conspiracy theorists. They're not going along with it. They're anti this and anti that. They make up these bullshit words that they weaponize. Anti-vaxxers, whatever the one was with the voting or election.
Election deniers.
Deniers. They make up these fucking words that never existed before. That mean, they've slapped COVID labels on things, which quietly disappeared, if you'll notice. Disinformation, they censor. Seriously, fuck you, fuck this, fuck everybody. Use your fucking brain. I'm so tired of it. Use your fucking brain. Wake up.
Damn.
Stop being manipulated.
Let me put that one comment back up on the screen. There we go.
Oh.
I was going to say, speaking of manipulation, manipulation, I was going to, one of the stories we're going to talk about, because we only got a few minutes left, was the LeBron James gimmick. Bronny James. If I may, so are we moving on from this? Is that cool?
Yeah, buddy, go ahead.
Let's go.
So, you know, a lot of people were like making a joke out of this situation. Like, you know, the kid gets a heart attack, and I understand certain people believe it may possibly be the vaccines and so on and so forth, but it's still an 18-year-old kid that had a heart attack, and I think it's incredibly scary and it's shitty. No, I don't give a fuck if the kid's a billionaire or his dad's a billionaire. I don't give a shit who he is. I think it's incredibly sad and scary that this is happening, but it is happening. And some people are saying, oh, but it's just they're trying to normalize it. Like, this has always happened. I don't remember it happening.
No, it never happened before.
As much as it has now regarding young elite athletes. It did happen, I think once or twice. Colin, if you remember that kid from the Boston Celtics that died with the heart attack on the court, but he had like a heart murmur. I can't remember.
Yeah. He had some.
No, I can tell you, both being in the business and researching the business, the amount of people who died from heart issues in 2017, 18, and 19 still did not equal the athletes, FIFA athletes who were required to be vaccinated. All 3 years did not equate to the amount of people, athletes, who died in 2021 after receiving the vaccine. 1 year versus 3 years, there was still more.
Well, let's extrapolate that out a little bit further, April. We all remember the wild 70s. You know, the Steelers, you know, led by Terry Bradshaw, all those guys. You know, they were drinking, they were smoking, they were doing drugs, they were doing all the steroids possible. Did any at any point in time from the 70s up until now, before Damar Hamlin, did we see any of them drop dead?
It was just
one of my favorite.
A lot of soccer.
Well, hang on. One of my favorite fighters in the world, Kazushi Sakuraba. The man would chain smoke in the back before his fights, and he was known as the Gracie Killer. He beat all of the Gracies. He beat Hoist Gracie. He beat them all. Right.
I remember when all the wrestlers were dying, and it turns out they were not dying from steroids, and they were not dying from illegal drugs. They were dying from painkillers and sleeping meds that were prescribed, brought to you by Pfizer. So I remember talking about this, and I was saying it is not the illegal drugs that are killing these people. It is the legal drugs. And then they did the wellness program, and they stopped all the painkillers, and they stopped all the sleeping meds, and they stopped all of that. And then the wrestlers lived. So what's going on now? Exactly. So I'm just saying the fact. Okay. So Dr. John Campbell, look him up on YouTube. He is a doctor in England. He has been running the numbers since all this started, and he has done the research in his own field globally. And he is talking about the fact that everybody is strangely silent about all of these deaths, and why are governments and the medical communities continuing to be silent about all these sudden deaths. And the sudden deaths are way up. Yeah. Way up. They are ridiculous on all age groups, all races, all countries, especially the ones that are heavily vaccinated. And he'll tell you it's not causation, but it definitely is correlation. And the fact that this correlation, it should be looked into, and yet nobody is doing that. And here's the other thing. The people who are dying from this, they are having heart issues. In the autopsies, they're having heart issues and embolisms, and it's myofractions, and they are not dying from lung issues, which would suggest it would be a COVID side effect. It's not a COVID side effect. It is a heart issue. So
the artist, he's going to fight us as usual. He says, so COVID vax is the new boogeyman, not the fact that maybe they either had undiagnosed and or a result of COVID, because that's a factor too. He's going to fight us on this one.
And you're going to lose, because I can come back on a million things with that one.
You're going to lose, artist. No,
yeah. I mean, you can go back and just watch. When in sports have we just been seeing athletes, precision machine athletes, just elite, fall over, and sports commentators and sportscasters and things like this, where people are just on shows and they're just like,
what about the sudden, what about the sudden death of the guy that was over? I forgot, he was doing a soccer. Or was it the World Cup?
He's doing they believe the Saudis might have killed him, but
okay,
right,
that's a different type of
The artist returns. You have no idea how well versed and how educated I am in this particular topic. I know more than your doctor.
Right. And she also has some
big ass titties.
So she wins.
It's true.
They are my auxiliary brains when it comes to this.
she wins.
So the reason I'll tell you that these athletes and these people do not have undiagnosed COVID is because usually they have to have a COVID test before they can perform with a lot of these companies. First off. Secondly, how many people do you know who have had COVID who have died anywhere, any fucking where, except a hospital? Now, if any other disease, any other disease, whether it's diabetes, heart disease, Parkinson's, people die at work, they die at home, they die in a restaurant, they die anywhere, but only with COVID, do they die in hospitals. Why do you think that is?
Billy Ray, why is that?
Also, only with COVID, our government's paying out $32,000 per COVID death. Governments will pay out. As a matter of fact, to the point where they are paying out people who died from cancer because they want to put COVID on their death certificate. So no, these COVID numbers are not correct. And the hospital treatments are killing people. And I hate to say it, but probably on purpose. Look up Remdesivir. It's nicknamed in the hospital, Run, Death is Near, for a reason. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, when in life have we ever had a sickness where we didn't even know if we were sick, but we test positive? When has that ever happened? When? All of a sudden you test positive for COVID, but you got nothing. You've got nothing. So no, that's not really a thing. It never has been a thing. So no, these people, COVID's a real thing. You get sick, you know you're sick. It kicks your ass. So you cannot go on the field and run full on if you have COVID. So myocarditis comes with the vaccine, and the vaccine manufacturers will tell you this. And what happens is when you get your heart rate up past a certain point, it can give you a heart attack. And that's why people are dying in the middle of the night too. Between the hours of 3 and 4 in the morning, that's when our heart rate is at its highest. And that is when the myocarditis kicks in.
Pretty much, people were going into the hospital with like head wounds from bullets that clearly they're going to die from, and then their death certificate would come out and say COVID on it.
Oh yeah, I've heard of people having to fight that off of their friends' certificates.
I'm sorry, Billy Ray Valentine was going to say something though, real quick. We're about to sign off in a minute. Yeah, you weren't you? Because if not, then I could do my last thing and we get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out of here.
Myocarditis is a thing, and it's admitted from the vaccine. It's admitted. So we have to take it seriously. This wasn't happening before. It's happening now. Even if it was happening before, there wasn't enough attention on it. So why is the attention on it now? That's another thing we need to look at. But I do think, hey, they admitted this. This isn't me talking, right? They admitted it, that myocarditis is a side effect of this vaccine. This vaccine hasn't been tested. We are the guinea pigs. So anything that's going down is we are the guinea pigs right now. We don't know what this thing is going to do moving forward. I know people died of COVID. I hear in New York, I'm sure Ray knows someone also. People died for sure, right? But largely, I think April brings up a lot of solid points. So many people died in the hospital due to the treatment. I don't think the nurses and the doctors were looking to kill people. I think they were following the directions that they got as far as the treatment that they had to give out. I don't think they knew what was going on. A lot of people died. People aren't dying anymore. They attribute it to the vaccine. I would attribute it to doing different things and taking a different approach. right? I don't attribute it to the vaccine at all. I don't think it was necessary. I think it's a giant experiment that they're running on us, man. What else can I say? Because I mean, even if you disagree, I mean, we can argue this to the end of time. There's so much evidence to say that we're the guinea pigs here, because they've never rolled out a vaccine like this. So let's see what happens.
And you have to remember, Trump rolled this out, and a lot of people said they would never touch it because Trump did Operation Warp Speed, and then all of a sudden, when Biden took it over, everybody lined up for it. Yeah. So they politicized the shit out of this, and it shouldn't have been politicized ever.
And if Trump were to have stayed in office, or I think a lot of people would have been on the right would have been more receptive to taking the vaccine. Now that Biden is pushing it, they're saying, no, we don't want it. Screw you and your vaccine. And completely continue. They say that they're anti-vaccine and they support Donald Trump. I don't understand it. But that's what they're doing.
I get it. Anywho, I wanted to get into one more topic, but I have actually no more time. I don't know if you guys are cool with it, but next week I wanted to get into, if it's okay with you, April, I wanted to really get into, I've been going down a fucking rabbit hole with these whole relationship. You know what? Do we have like 5-10 minutes? Do you want to talk about it real quick?
It's up to you, but yeah.
Or unless you want to wait till next week, we can really delve into it, because it's just like I've gone. So this is YouTube channel, right? It's called Scamfished, and they are a group of YouTubers that got together and they developed this like website where it has all this AI and all this other stuff, and they're able to find the location and of these people that are scamming, these people that are lonely in relationship scams. And I had a list right here of 9 different ways of how you can, kind of figure out if you're being scammed, or if I don't know if you guys maybe might know somebody who's been scammed in a relationship scam. Colin, you have? Go ahead.
No, so the Fiend's mom was actually scammed out of money and catfished in one of those types of scams. He tried to play like he was in the military and needed all this money, and he was going to marry her and bring her up to Virginia or wherever. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What about you, Billy Ray?
They prey on people that don't really speak English all that well and stuff like that too.
Well, here's the thing, and real quick, I've noticed this, so I'm going. And guys, you know what? Maybe we'll save this for next week, because I would love the chat to. And I'm not promoting the YouTube channel, but I have to put it over because it's really awesome. Go down and watch. Like, you're gonna find yourself just watching video after video after video, because it's like full 30-minute episodes. April.
I think Linda is next week, the first week of August. I think Linda Martush is on next week.
All right, so then we'll just talk about it now.
For episode 2 of her extraterrestrial.
What was that?
I love hearing about the extraterrestrials.
That's what everybody does.
That's what Colin does.
I know. Extraterrestrials.
That's the glory hole.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the middle stall. It's when you work the middle stall.
Alien glory hole. Yes.
So I'll give you a quick list.
Otherwise known as the George Michael space.
I'll give you a quick list. All right. So this is how to spot scammers on a dating site. Are you guys ready for number 1?
Let's hear it.
All right. Number 1, you can't find any information about them online. Disagree or agree?
That's simple enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Yeah.
That's assuming that you get their last name.
Right.
A lot of them are just signed up by one name.
Well, but it's a gradual thing, because usually you talk a few days before they, so then you get to know their last name probably after a week or 2. But they tell you they love you really quick. In other words, so I've seen a bunch of these videos, and it's crazy, guys, because I think they're just like rednecks or some dumb motherfuckers. No, I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, teachers.
Manti Te'o. Do you not remember Manti Te'o?
Well, Manti Te'o was a different. No, it was the original catfish, right? But it was
he got catfished.
Yeah, but it was like, before all of this, it was the real example, right? The beginning of all of this. So he gets a pass, I would say. God bless.
I had a date once, and the dude was in the park. I was late too. The dude was in the parking lot waiting for me.
What?
And he was in the parking lot waiting for me to show up, just standing there, and I assumed it was him. He looked like his pictures, and I waved, and he's like, you could see it. He was like this, and I was like, it was hot out and everything. I was like,
was he doing like the wrestling pose? Like,
I was like, how long were you waiting? And he's like, well, I was about to leave if you were catfishing me. He's like, I got catfished really hard before, and I was like, okay.
But why was he standing that way? Did he answer your question?
Because literally he was not even going to go inside. He was going to just walk away and get in his car and just leave, which is hilarious to me.
Well, this leads up.
I can't blame him.
Here's the deal, though. This leads to number 3. Number 3 is that usually the pictures of the people that are reaching out to you are kind of too perfect.
Yep.
So there are a lot of.
Okay, there we go.
Well, I'm saying there was a woman on one of these episodes that I kid you not, she wasn't a dumb woman. She was very smart. She had tons of money. She was lonely, and she really
people, right?
Yo, dude, she really believed she was in a relationship with Johnny Depp.
Jesus.
No shit.
Yes. Yo, guys, please check out this YouTube channel. All right,
dude, people will do anything for love. I mean, they will. Even smart, successful people, I think fucking intelligent people will do anything for love. And people know this. They will prey on it, you know?
I'll give you number 4. Number 4 is they're always traveling or always live far away from you. These are things that they refuse to video chat, but now
that's the big one.
Yeah, but here's the deal, no.
Wow.
Now there's that deepfake technology that these scammers are using. So they actually steal photos off of other people's YouTube channels or off of their Twitters or TikToks or Instagrams or whatever, and they can actually have like kind of a grainy but almost realistic conversation with that person's face. How scary is that, guys?
So when I lived in Georgia, I had a friend who, when Instagram first started and all that stuff, he had an Instagram, but he was in these weird Facebook communities and all that type of stuff, right? Well, one day he found an Instagram where like he was kind of like somebody basically stole his pictures and his like everything from his Facebook, put it on Instagram. They had like 500,000 followers on their Instagram, just posting pictures of him, pretending that they were him and all this other stuff. And he was like, bro, can I not get that account so I can have 400,000 people following me? Like, he only had like 1,000.
That happened to me. Somebody did a fake Twitter account.
That was me. Sorry.
And quite honestly, they were funnier than I was. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, I want to be mad, but they're actually funnier than me. So instead of, them stealing my shit, I wanted to steal their shit.
I'll give you number 6. They have consistent or constant family and personal emergencies. They're always problems, always ask. And then number 7 is they're always asking for financial help or investments. So they're going to use scams like saying, oh, well, my account was just frozen. I want to come visit you, but I'm going to need $500 for a plane ticket. And then once they get on the plane, then they all of a sudden they get detained. And then all of a sudden they get arrested. And it just continues. And then you're just paying and paying. Like, it's really, really fucking interesting. Number 8 is they push you for personal information. So they're going to ask you questions about your family, your friends.
What's your social
name of your first pet?
What's that, Billy Ray?
Like, what's your social security number by any chance?
People are stupid,
really
though.
high.
Right. What is the name of your first pet?
And also, listen.
What is your mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
Going back to 7, they're going to ask you to pay in either cryptocurrency or gift cards. When they ask for help, because these are things that are not easily tracked. And number 9,
as the local crypto guy, if they're trying to sell you anything in Tron, stay the fuck away. It's a scam.
And the last one is that they try to continuously move the conversation off the dating app, and they'll use like WhatsApp a lot. That's a really
WhatsApp
big
is a big
WhatsApp,
one, right?
Telegram.
Yeah.
Telegram is a problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you have a Telegram account, you're definitely on several lists.
Right.
I thought you meant like they actually have like pigeons fly up to your window.
That too.
Anyway.
Yeah, the artist return says the gift card thing is real. They're killing old folks with that one. Yeah, they are. And they also, you got to be careful if you get a stranger calling you and asking you questions, instead of saying yes, repeat the thing back to them. Like somebody be like, can you hear me? And if you say yes, they can record you as an affirmation to whatever it is they're doing. So instead of saying yes, say, I can hear you.
Ah, good. That's a good.
Yeah. So be aware of that too. Thank you. The artist returns.
And they're also recording
all together. I was just like, that's it. I can't talk to anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Bro, they're also recording your voices and using AI to create like legit conversations.
Yeah. So be aware of these things. Knowledge is power. Don't be a Nimrod.
Yeah, don't be a penisless person. So next
We
week,
call those big Rays now.
So next week, who do we have on again? There,
we have on Linda Martush for the second installment of Extraterrestrial Contact and Consciousness. More of what she started to tell us, and the bigger picture and how this all works. Right? Yes. So yes, thank you to everybody. Thank you to Billy Ray for joining us. Thank you, Colin, for joining us. It was very fun having you guys. Thank you to all of you guys for joining us. We are back live again Wednesday night from 7 to 8:30 Eastern, and we hope you will come back and be part of our show. Please share this, like us, do all that stuff, because when you do that, it looks good, and when we look good, we can have on higher profile guests. And we look impressive, so we need your help to look impressive, damn it. So join us, share us, get us out there. We need you to do that, please. And hope to see you next week.
All right, guys. So thank you again for joining us on The A Show.
Yes. Mwah.
Big ass titties.
That's right, everybody's flex.
I can't. I did it for my
Boobies.
What knockers?